Hey, it's time for us to talk fitness and nutrition. It is a Monday, so we want to start the week on a strong note. Children learn from the influences around them. We know that part of growing up is creating their habits that will flow from parents to their children, and throughout their lives, that influence actually shapes them as they mature. But how do you instill a healthy lifestyle in your child? To help us on this one is Daniel Butler, who's the founder of Tumbling Tigerz, a specialized physical development program for children between the ages of 3 to 9 years. Daniel, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
3 to 9 years. I wonder how you deal with the 3-year-olds, Daniel.
Those are actually the best group. They
Uh-huh.
they haven't they haven't become terribly cheeky yet, so they are still full of wonder.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about what you do. How did you start this program? What did you notice?
Okay, so my wife and I founded the program in 2011. We worked with special needs children through a center called CARD, Center for Autism and Related Disorders. And when we saw how the therapists were working with the special needs children, they concentrated on things like crossing the midline, bilateral integration, color identification, but most importantly, social interaction, which is how the children socialize with each other. And when we looked at other extramurals, they were very sport specific. There was soccer, there was ballet, but that's not exactly what your junior age group needs. They need a wide range and a variety of movements to get them interested in exercise before they get to grade one, grade two, grade three, and then the sports coaches can take over. But ultimately, lighting that fire inside the children is the important thing.
Mm.
Making things fun and interesting and challenging is how you're going to get through to them, because they don't particularly care about playing for a sports team right now. But if something is fun, they're going to want to do more of it.
Mm.
And then we developed our program around that.
Daniel, one would say that, young children should be active anyway. Like, the 3-year-olds are walking, they should be running about, and children of all ages should be able to exercise through play. Why do you think it's important to remove them from the natural environment and go into, a place like Tumbling Tigers?
So the natural environment is number one. And the point of Tumbling Tigers, our lessons are 30 minutes once a week. Imagine if you went to gym for 30 minutes once a week. You're not going to see amazing results.
No.
But what we try and do is make the exercises fun and interactive. So when they leave Tumbling Tigers and they see a child kicking a ball, they want to go join them. If they see a child climbing a jungle gym, they want to go join them. And that's actually where the development happens. But it's to get the children to want to go and do the different activities, to want to participate and get out of their comfort zone. And that's where that development's going to come in. So yeah, that's basically Tumbling Tigers. Our job is to, again, light that fire inside the children. We are not going to make the total difference with the child, but having a gross motor schedule is what we always recommend to parents. So if it's walking the dogs or a walk in the park or swimming
Mm-hmm.
is absolute king in everything. But getting them to have a variety of activities and a frequency,
Yeah,
because you don't want to find just one activity and try and hammer it as hard as you can,
sure.
because your child will lose interest. So rather having a variety of activities that they enjoy and they want to keep going back, because that's where the value is. Keep going back. They can't do it for 2 months and then stop like most people going to gym. If you can instill that love for movement and activity in them, that's going to last them a lifetime.
I mean, I'm thinking of a 3-year-old. What kind of movements would I want them to do frequently, right? What kind of exercises or even kind of activities to get up to, depending also on their ability? How do you suss it out?
So you follow their interest. You have to do stuff that the children are interested in. So with your 3-year-olds, making sure that you're giving them a lot of positive reinforcement. You're clapping for them, you're cheering for them, you're saying, "Yay, well done, you did that so well."
Love that.
That's that's how you're going to get them to do. But swimming is ultimate. If you can get your child swimming twice a week, that's absolutely brilliant. Climbing is a very important skill that they need to learn. Ball skills, moving the ball around, because there's a lot of proprioception in that. There's a lot of fine motor skills in that, coordination. So between your core strength, your coordination, and your actual fitness level, if you can have variety in those three aspects, you would pretty much cover what needs to be done. So once your child learns to ride a bike, you will see a massive leap in development, just because riding a bike is really fun and it's also quite tough. So once they learn how to ride a bike, they immediately, you'll see an increase in their development. So I would recommend swimming as number one, getting them outdoors, and especially with their shoes off.
Yeah.
If you can get them outside and their shoes off, get them feeling the grass, moving their toes, and different environments. Like I always say, raising children, I've got 2 children of my own, it's a lot like camping. If you as a parent are prepared, and you've prepared activities, and you've brought the extra snacks and the change of clothes, and you've planned what you're going to do, you're going to have a good time. But just like camping, if you're going to wing it, there's a very good chance that you're going to have a bad time. So my advice to parents is try and plan your activities, and try and also, with parents, try and do activities that you as parents also enjoy, because then you're more likely to do them often. Some parents, they've never run in their life, but all of a sudden they want to take their child on a walk or a run. The parent doesn't end up enjoying it, so they're not going to be doing more of that on a regular basis. So if you enjoy building puzzles, if you enjoy gardening, if you enjoy any activity, get your children involved, and you're more likely to do more of that. Because too many parents think that they have to go from, oh, my child needs to be fit.
Yeah.
We've got to put them in exercise, and there's squats, and there's hard work and sweating. The parents don't enjoy that. So why would the child enjoy that?
Yeah. I actually had that image in my mind, Daniel, when I was talking about the 3-year-olds, a little 3-year-old doing squats with dumbbells in each hand. It's definitely something that I imagined, but I'm sure it's something that's actually a little bit more fun than that. Things have changed a lot. Lifestyle has changed for many of us, especially in urban areas. And these days, for parents, instead of a child wanting a new bike for their birthday, they might want a new console. They might want a new phone. So kids aren't as active as they used to be. What are some of the repercussions for that in terms of, our children's lifestyle?
Enormous repercussions. So looking at the space of properties these days, much smaller space. The spaces are limited. Security is always a major issue. And as well as TVs, iPads, entertainment that is so enticing and spoon-fed to your child, it's difficult to encourage them to do something like a walk, or let's go look under rocks and see what bugs we can find. It's difficult to do that. So we've seen a massive increase in occupational therapy, physiotherapy for the children. We've seen a huge decline in the want. The children don't want to go and do the crazy things, and the parents as well, glued to their phones constantly. I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. So it's just trying to improve those things slightly. So for instance, we have brought in little Pilates balls.
Oh, nice.
And we are selling it to all of our parents. So if you can't get your child away from the screen, but if they're sitting on a Pilates ball, they're all of a sudden destabilizing their core. They're getting a bit of a sensory input. So they're going to be watching the TV, but now at least they can destabilize their core a little bit, which is a good thing. And then also on the technology, parents should not have their child in front of YouTube, especially if the child is controlling the YouTube. Because they get bored of one thing in 30 seconds and they get to change it. And they get bored and they change it. And that's what they start to do in life. If something doesn't grab them fully, they just want to change it.
Okay, Daniel, we need to go on a break. We'll continue this one. It's fascinating. I didn't know that it comes to a point where it's as young as 3-year-olds that we have to get that child's body moving. But also, I'm thinking about the transmission between the parent's behavior to the child. Seems like that's something that you've touched upon. How does our behavior as parents actually influence our little ones? kids. And, you can't, like earlier on I was saying, you can't put a carrot on your child's plate while you're having a big burger with a whole lot of cheese and bacon, right? I'm sure they're going to be like, this is unfair. But we'll talk a little bit more about how to get our children's leaning into a healthy lifestyle.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Palesa and Benjamin, fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
How do we lead our children towards a healthy lifestyle? It's more important these days than it was in the past because, our lifestyles in general as people were a lot healthier in the past. These days, the food that we eat is ultra processed and the workouts that we do are taking our phones from our eyes to our ears when we get a phone call, and that's about it. And our children are watching and they're adjusting to the exact same lifestyle that we live today. But we're speaking to Daniel Butler, founder of the Tumbling Tigerz, a specialized physical development program for children aged 3 to 9 years old, and we're helping understand how we can get our kids to be healthier. Well, we're getting our kids to move. Obviously, as you mentioned, these are the things that parents can do to try and get their kids to move, but movement without proper or sufficient nutrition can also be a little bit troubling. So, you take your child to Tumbling Tigerz and then on your way home, you pass by that burger joint because they're happy and they're tired. It doesn't really sound like, it's functional to do that. So how can we incorporate our children's nutrition to us trying to make them move a little bit more and keep fit and healthy?
Excellent. So my advice is to improve, not to perfect.
Okay.
So many years ago, I was a personal trainer, and you had people that wanted to go from hamburgers and chips to 5K runs and salads, and it's just not sustainable. So instead, if you're going to have the burger and chips, maybe just remove the chips. You've already improved by 20 to 30%. And it's the same thing with parents. We've all got busy lifestyles. We've all got businesses or jobs. We've all got relationships. Sometimes doing the perfect thing becomes quite difficult. So to try and do as best as you can, not to try and perfect it, because you're going to make your children unhappy and you're going to make yourself unhappy. So my advice when it comes to nutrition is to try and involve your children in the preparation of the food. So if you're making a salad or if you're making meat or whatever it is, try and let them cut something or toss the salad or do whatever they need to do or like
plastic
to do
knives,
in
please,
the
hey?
The plastic knives. It's going to be a messy process. It's going to be a messy process. But a child who helps you prepare the food is more likely to eat it because they've been involved. If it's chopping the strawberries or dishing up the blueberries or things like that. And you can get all these amazing fruits that are so colorful and tasty, and the children get to touch and feel them. You can put certain foods in the deep freeze and they come out and it's a different texture, it's a different temperature.
Sure.
So the children are experiencing a whole science experiment in the kitchen, and they want to do it. They really do want to do it. And most parents, they'll sit the children in front of the iPad or in front of the TV while they go and prepare dinner.
Yeah.
And you're not involving the children in the process.
It's almost like you're missing a good moment right there,
Yeah. So wherever you can, like something as simple as making pancakes on the weekend. It might not be the healthiest thing, but they're mixing and they're cracking eggs and they with the flour and it's a fun activity. And in the same thing, when you're dishing up for your children, maybe don't dish up for them. Maybe put the food in bowls and allow them to select what they're going to eat. Because
Sure.
if they have a choice in the matter, they're more likely to want to eat what they chose.
You,
So
you know
so
what you,
little tricks.
Sure, you know what you're saying is very powerful, because it means that our behavior is going to have a huge impact on our children. But I like the fact that you're also mixing it with interaction, that, at times we think our task is our task. So when I'm in the kitchen, the kids stay somewhere in another room and they don't have to participate in the activity. But also when they're outside, you've also made that link that when we participate with them as well, it's so important to have that connection with them, even in the physical stuff. And that emulation, how important is it? That interaction as well, when we do all these different healthy things when it comes to eating and also activity, how does it actually also boost the bond between child and parent?
It's enormous. Like, people need to remember, we had children for a reason. We didn't have children to have it as an item on our shelf. We had children to share our lives with them. So, and by the time your children get to grade 1, already they're at school till 1, 2 o'clock every day. Then when they start doing after school extramurals, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, now you're only picking them up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You actually only end up spending 3 or 4 hours a day maximum with your children. And then on the weekends, you take them to different restaurants and things where you can tell them, no, you must go and play. And they're away from you. And
Yeah.
then everyone cries. We've heard everyone crying about, oh, when did my children grow up? I wish they would still hug me. I wish they were still around. We had children for a reason. So interact with them as much as possible, because they're going to give you the best laughs. They're going to ask the most curious questions. We didn't have children to sideline them. We had children to involve them. So, and I know it's something to say from like a high horse, but if you can spend time with your children, and that's why I say do things with them that you also enjoy. Because if you also enjoy that activity, it's not going to be a mission for you to go and interact with them. If it's something cool that you also enjoy, whether it's PlayStation, whether it's playing in the garden, whether it's going for walks, if it's anything where you are with your child and you guys are on a team together, that's a healthy relationship.
Well, before we wrap up, Daniel, let's speak about some of the lifetime benefits of starting children early with healthy habits.
Well, guys, it all starts from the beginning. Any major professional sportsman didn't start at 16, 17. They had an interest from an early age. And with the world and with technology, there's so much that we can give our children to start a little bit earlier, to give them that head start in life. So putting them into different activities, or if it's an activity that you want to do with them yourself, jump in with them, and starting early is going to build that interest, light that fire. That's what I always say, light that fire, because when you build that up in a child, it's going to create lifelong habits. If you know how to train yourself, if you know how to eat properly, if you know how to cook, cooking is a major skill. And if you know how to cook really nice food, you're not going to want to go to the restaurant, because you're going to be like, I can do the steak better. And building those skills, stay with them for life, and they're going to use them every single day throughout their life. So my thing is, as parents and with your teachers and with anyone that interacts with your children, as long as they are adding value to your child's life, they are welcome.
I love that.
If they're not adding, yeah.
Well, Daniel, as we wrap up, let us know where we can find out more information about Tumbling Tigerz.
Excellent. So you can go to tumblingtigerz.co.za. Next year, Tigerz has been running for 15 years.
Nice.
We're available in over 1,000 schools countrywide, and we've got over 10,000 children currently participating in the program. So guys, find these activities, find these special people. How to spot a good coach is if your child loves the coach. It doesn't matter what the coach is doing with the children. If they love the coach, they're more likely to do more of it.
I love that.
So check us out at tumblingtigerz.co.za.
Well, just to put it out there, Tigerz is with the Z for Tumbling Tigerz, for those who are going to be checking it out. Thank you so much. That's Daniel Butler, founder of Tumbling Tigerz, a specialized physical development program for children aged 3 to 9, and which incorporates aspects of boxing, pilates, gymnastics, and soccer for child's health. We're speaking about ways to lead your children towards a healthy lifestyle.